Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you all had a good one. Mine was all right. Didn't do much. Went to my sister's place. Thought my niece and nephews would be there, but they're actually with their dads this year. So yeah, just kind of a small family gathering. And then come to find out the town that we're in, because we're new here, they don't celebrate like anything. There's no fireworks. And I kept wondering where all the fireworks stands were. But I'm hoping you guys are having a good one. And we'll just do a little bit of rambling. I haven't taken this thing out in a while. And this used to be one of the rarest vehicles in the game, but they brought it back I think like last year or the year before, for like a weekend, and it was like $30, and everybody picked it up. But it's just two 109s, and I think it's like the K4 slammed together. You get two cannons. You don't get a lot of ammo. Don't believe the stat card. It does not turn on 23. It takes much longer. Red climb's about right though, so we'll just play it. I haven't taken it out in forever. It's at a horrible BR. It could go down to like 4.0, maybe 3.7, and it might do well there. But yeah, this will be one of the New Year's I don't really celebrate. Back when I was working offshore, we didn't get to celebrate a lot. We had our own little celebrations on the rigs and platforms. Anything like Christmas, New Year's, they were all right, but you stuck at work, so you just had to make the best of it. And that's what I'm kind of doing now at life. I really wish I could get back out there. It was good times out there. Not all the time, but hey, do what you could with what you had. Well, this looks like a pretty decent 4.7. I'm not seeing anything that's 5.0 yet. And again, I haven't played down here in a little while. It will take off a little bit quick. I still don't say it climbs at 20, but go a little bit below it. So you get 260 rounds of ammo. That's like 130 rounds per cannon. And I think it's actually 4 cannons. I think there's 2 on the nose, 2 on the wings. I can't remember. I've literally not taken this thing out in like 8 months, a year. It's interesting. Like I said, it used to be one of the rarest vehicles, besides the TU2, that's like a 2.3, and the only way to get that one is to have been the beta for War Thunder, and they don't even allow test drives of it. So if you're in a low tier game and you see a TU2, just know that that person's had that account for a long time. It does get night ammo, which gets the mine shell, and it's an explosive air ammo. It's insanely good. It's a cannon round, and if you get tapped by it, doesn't matter what it is, it's blowing that piece off. It does not turn well. It does not roll hard. This is me trying to roll. It does not roll well at all. And it's kind of, sort of, not really a high altitude fighter. Maybe 2,500. It's just so heavy from having the second 109 on there. But relatively neat. But yeah, I really hope you guys are having a good New Year's. Set some good resolutions for yourself. Mine this year is going to be to try to get back into shape. So, yeah, after working at the landscape company and finding out my age is catching up with me. I really can't do the amount of physical work I used to. So, that's the main thing. I want to get back in shape, get my finances in order. And I would like to make more YouTube content and Twitch. It's just trying to squeeze that in there with real life and bills and everything. So maybe one day I'll get around to being a full-time YouTuber or something like that. That'd be the dream, right? So, yeah. What do you want to do with this thing? I honestly don't know. Like, I've been going for head-ons with it. And you have a weird convergence. So, treat it like a crappy P-38 Lightning. Oh yeah, you don't get air brakes either. So, don't go over about 600 in a dive. It stiffens up super bad and you won't get out of it. You have to cut throttle and try to nose up slowly. The whole thing about the 23-second turn time, it's closer to like 30. Maybe if you're down to 10 minutes of fuel, but I haven't had a game yet where it's like that. But yeah, I've just been looking for, honestly, I'm trying to get into remote work. Because this town sucks. Like, I am really contemplating moving back to the state I came from, back to the coast. I didn't expect it to be this hard, but everybody I talk to in town, it's just, there's more people than there are jobs, and they're wanting people with, no lie, listen to this, $12 an hour job. They were requiring a bachelor's degree in computer science, and it was for IT help desk. Yeah. Kai 44s are actually kind of nasty. I don't want to go ahead on with that. 410s, it's kind of brave. 410s have a nasty armament. If you ever need a ground pounder, go with that. Oh, Oh, an I-85. They're really maneuverable, and I shouldn't take this. I shouldn't take any of this. This is a horrible place to be. That guy's got some nasty cannons. I know that's got a nose mount that's nasty. And that's got kind of crap cannons. The Kai 61. I can't remember if that's like the 13mm one or not. Oh yeah, by the way, this thing will accelerate your friendly team, so we want to fire. You see those explosions? Those were the what do you call them? The night shells. Alright. We want to go in on this Spitfire. See if we can get him in a head-on. See him exploding? Oh yeah, we got one. He got one of our engines. So we will die now. And we're out of ammo. That trail explosion is kind of cool though. Best thing to do is turn your engine off, nose down, and yeah, get shot by the Spitfire. Like I said, it's not a very good aircraft. It's a unique aircraft that was pretty much for collecting. You guys know I've got a ton of premium vehicles. I like to collect the unique stuff. There's unique stuff in the tech trees, but this is kind of neat. This is nothing you're going to use to grind with. This is just purely unique vehicle. I'll say the Yak-38 was purely unique, but it had a purpose. Go out and get 2 kills before they gave it 4 missiles. You better give me the 15,000. Yeah, thank you. I've already got the room bar, and I don't want the rocket launcher. Let's see what else we can play. This isn't all these. The Italian planes are actually in the Italian tech tree. Back in the day when they were adding the Italian tech tree, where is the other 2 at? Here we go. The HE112s. If you unlocked them in the German tree, they became premium, which was always neat. And oh, here we go. Well, you know, we'll take it out. This is not a good aircraft for air RB. It's great for ground RB. And what's crazy is they actually gave it ground ordnance. This used to not have ground ordnance. It was just it's an IL-2 1942. It's got the same loadout as, oh, I think they have the Fab bombs, which are a little more pinned. But yeah, it was the same thing. And it's actually really good at 3.0. I think in ground it's actually like 3.3. I'm an ARB, aren't I? I can't remember. This is a ground attacker. Universal, and this is supposed to be for armor targets. There we go. This was, I didn't play it a whole lot. It took me a few years after it came out to actually get it, because I thought they had taken it away for a while. And I ended up picking it up on one of the sales, and oh my god, it does well. Because it made me go back and play my low-tier Russians. And yeah, it's another unique plane. It is a copy pasta, but it's on the German side. So there's a German lineup that's 4.0 to 4.3. I do run it. It's nothing but premiums, and like 8 out of the 10 vehicles are non-German, but they get the German guns most of the time. And this is kind of like a throwback to that. You can actually take this out at 4.0. The guns are sufficient enough to do what they need to do. The bombs are for medium to heavy tanks. The cannons are for medium and light tanks, which there are a plethora of. And that means many. Yeah, I saw that word somewhere, so I figured I had to use it. These were actually glass windows, if I remember. They weren't, what do you call it? A little history behind it. But yeah, the IL-2s, they're really tanky for what they are. And I did bring bombs? I was using it for ground pound. I don't remember. But yeah. In days long past, the IL-2s were just uncomfortably dumb to have to deal with in either ground RB or the air. They were just tanky. But you got to remember, back then, our guns were completely different. Anything below a 50 cal, like the 7.62s, were completely useless. Like, you would just go by and sprinkle their plane with them, and you get sparkles, which meant they didn't do any damage. And that used to suck a lot. The cannons, on the other hand, specifically the Russian cannons, never really had issues with that for some reason, even back in the day. Even through all the weirdness with bombers and whatnot, Russian cannons always worked. So there was that. But back to it being tough. So it feels like the flight model is a little more flimsy these days. Like, this thing can lose the tip of one wing and a tail, or part of the tail, and you could make it back to base. I mean, it was that tough. and low tier because grinding back then was just insanely awful. Like, granted, there's been some years where it's much better than what it is now in game, but yeah. Imagine taking like 6 weeks to unlock a tank, and that was playing 2 to 3 hours a day. Because there was like 22 tiers back then, or 24, depending on what you were playing. It was just insane. The RP was all over the place. They kept changing it, nerfing it. Now I know I'm just going on and on about it, but it truly was a pain in the butt. Oh, you done messed up. Done messed up. This thing goes relatively fast, so you're not going to climb. You're going to want to try to get in turn fights. Yeah. And if they're Japanese, you're going to not want to take that turn fight. Because they literally will just eat you. Those 16 to 18 turn times, no, they're a lot less. Stat cards are more of a like, this is a general idea of what it may do. What is this? It's a lot of guns. Oh, there's a P-47 there. There we go, there's a critical. And this is what you don't do. But he's probably a new player, still learning. He went vertical. In front of an oncoming enemy. There's somebody behind me, isn't there? I'm not paying attention, okay. You do have combat flaps. That's Spitfire. Let's take him in the turn fight. Hey, you got the tip of my wing. We're trying to pull him into a scissors. Oh, did you not know I could do this? Oh, look at that! AOA. Granted, I may not be able to fully turn because I am burning a lot of speed. But my low speed maneuverability is much more than his because he's stalling out. But we don't want to put ourselves in a bad spot like we are. And look how tough it was. I mean, it took a lot of hits to take me down. But we did to get 2 kills out of it. Same as the tech tree, there's nothing truly special about it. It used to be worse because it didn't have the ground ordnance. But it does now. It does now. One thing I do wish, and let's hop back into there. We're going to go to the American tree. This is truly the only American plane, keyword there, plane, prop, I should say, that I've actually wanted, and it was only available for the Xbox. And let's see here. They moved it way up in tier. I don't think it was BT1. It's one of the Corsairs. And it got moved way up. There it is, AU1. The AU1. I think it's the AU1. But they nerfed its bomb load. It used to be one of these when they first introduced. Yep, it's the AU1 because it used to be down to, it was right in here. I think it was right at 4.0. It used to be right here. Just dumb good. Like, so Gaijin introduced secondary weapon setups. Not that you could make them, but they gave you this list like this. It had an entire, like, scrolling screen's worth. Excuse me. It had everything. Rockets, bombs, just everything you can think of. That used to be the only one I truly wanted. But they have nerfed it because they've changed everything. But still, it's a Corsair, and this Corsair right here is actually kind of broken. I don't know if the magnetic mines work like they used to. They used to be a mini nuke. You go drop them on top of a tank or near a tank, and they would just explode. Let's see here. Mines. And torpedoes used to work like mini nukes also. But I think they have nerfed those to where they don't explode on land. But you know what? Let's take this out. This is just a Happy New Year's kind of thing. So let's take out these torpedoes real quick. We'll do the torpedoes and then the magnetic mines, and we'll see. This Corsair, it turns very well. It's very fun to play. I don't know if it's still in the store, though. But yeah, I didn't see this one. Well, I didn't see it. I'm not going to say that. I just never picked it up until I think about 2 years ago. My buddy's like, dude, you've got to try this thing. And I was like, what? What is it? Tell me I'm about to get off this. There we go. Bring your gears up. Yeah, he's like, dude, you got to try this out. He was dropping magnetic mines and the low BR, and I was like, dude, how are you doing that? And they were just exploding, getting 2 or 3 kills every time. I'm pretty sure Gaijin's nerfed since then. Oh, I gotta dive bomb it. I think it does get flaps. Yep, it does get, well, air brakes, I should say. This is another cool, kind of unique vehicle. You're not really gonna ever play naval, guys. I picked up naval stuff. I mean, it's It's pretty much there for grinding silver lions, and that's about it. And the two really good busted vehicles that they had, they've removed now, which was the Mosfet, I think, is removed, and the Helena. And I picked up both of them. You could literally go AFK in the Mosfet with the few automatic guns it had and rack up, 400 SL in a 30-minute game. 400,000 SL. Let's test this out real quick. I just want to see if these still work like they used to. Because if these explode on land, I might make a little ground pounding loadout with it and go back to it. This will be a little bit longer video. This is more me just talking. Just enjoying New Year's Eve, y'all. So, well, here in about 26 more minutes will no longer be New Year's Eve. It will be New Year's. So, yeah. It's alright. Sorry, somebody texted me. And I had to go check it out real quick. But yeah, it's Happy New Year's to everybody. That whole thing. And like I said, I'm enjoying it. I didn't get to play earlier today. Like I said, I had a winner with the family. I was going to go there, surprise them. I was like, hey, how the kiddos doing? Everything's like, oh, everybody left. And you're trying to get a nap. Well, I'm here now, so wake up. That's what siblings are for. Alright, let's see this. Do these things explode? They do not explode on land anymore. So torpedoes no longer work as mini nukes. So return to hangar. I want to try magnetic mines. I know this is kind of boring. I'm just going through some old unique stuff. One thing that was really cool I never got was this is the earliest jet you can get. And it's pretty good from what I've seen. So if you do have that, congrats. You've got an amazing vehicle. Let's test flight. Let's put a magnetic mine on it. We'll stick to. Why not? Alrighty. These used to work like nukes. I know for a fact. Funny enough, you could drop these on a mouse and kill it. I wish they didn't put the stuff so far away from takeoff. At least we're cooking a little bit quicker. And it has to open up its bomb bay door, which is here. That gives us more time to talk. And we're going to climb a little bit this time. Actually try to dive bomb something. Nope, can't climb that high. But yeah, a lot of the Corsairs, if you take them out, you put the Tiny Tims on them and the sap rockets. And I think Defin's got a couple of videos on these Corsairs. You can just nose down, launch the rocket. Doesn't really matter how far you are away from them, be within like 4 kilometers. And if it's anything other than heavy tank on the Tiny Tims, it will kill them. The sap rounds will nuke anything that's light. Like, it's just atrocious. That's why I say America's got literally the best ground pounders. Like, bar none. So, I mean, there is that. Back in the day, it may not have seemed that great. I mean, there's a lot of stuff now that would have been broken before all these changes, which some of it really was broke. HVAP rounds on the DO335B, whatever it was, he's called the Screaming Death. You would dive bomb on top of people, and no matter what tank it was, you could pin the roof of it. And of course, they took out HVAP rounds. Only to the Germans, though. Other countries, Russia, Japan didn't really have a whole lot. Britain did, and America got to keep theirs. So if you ever get killed by a Corsair with their 50 cals tearing through your roof, they probably have armored targets on. So yeah, there's that. Alrighty. I'm not good at old school dive bombing. I mean, at one time I really was, but not anymore since I don't have a bombing reticle. Air brakes extended. Okay, so they still explode. I just can't hit the target. So, there's that. Alright, return to hangar. I know y'all are getting bored. This is more background stuff, and me just playing a little bit after getting back to the house. I mean, it's like 11:30 something here at night. What else is pretty cool? The A2D is very good. I think in air RB it needs to be lower. In ground RB it's perfectly fine at 7.0. The F7F, I don't even know anybody that owns it. Like the event vehicle. H1, I missed that event by very little, and I'm kicking myself in the butt. This is what the old AU-1 used to look like. Something similar, just all the junk on it. This I'd love to get, but I'm not paying that kind of price for it. This was a terrible Mustang. It was like the first premium Mustang they came out with, so I picked it up. XP50 is meh for me. I don't get the constant ace kills people are getting in them, so I don't know. XP55, it's a backwards what? Kitty Hawk? Let's see, what other cool stuff do I have in here that may not be in there? Wellington Bomber. Okay, here we go. The Japanese B-17. I'm not going to take it out because it sucks, but I remember when this thing came out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pick this up, play with it, and it was really good for the time because B-17s were quote-unquote broken. Here recently, last year, this was 2.3. Yeah. And the tech tree version was 3.0. I was getting aces in it because, killing biplanes, losing their energy was amazing. This used to be 2.3. It's Corsair with a bunch of machine guns, and it was one of the best Japanese premiums you could get besides the Zero. I have this. I haven't. I'll show you. Where's it at? Getting any kills without anything other than the Chiha LG, it sucks for the ground. And getting this thing out to use it it's rough. It's rough. I think this was actually the first premium I ever owned. Was the Haggerty's. It was just a premium 1.3 because I played Japan a ton back in the day. This is just, it's hard to use. You go faster than the rocket it launches out, and it's M-Class, so you have to guide it with your keyboard. It does have a rather large explosion, Anything else that's actually kind of unique? Havoc, that was the first premium I bought for Britain. Because I don't know if any of this stuff's still there. None of these are really good. This was broken at one time. This was one of those godly, everybody on the forum screaming about it, the old Typhoon Mark 1B. It turned like a zero. It went extremely fast. And it had the best cannons in the game next to the Russians. And had 4 of them, which would just tear people up. The Hellcat, this was a meme. This is another one of those torpedo bombers. Yeah. Strictly for the lulz. Broken. I never picked up any. I quit touching Britain altogether for a very long time. I come back just to try unique stuff. That's about it. I got this when the event came around. It's relative. I got videos on it. The Chikia is hilarious. This is just the tech tree lag. There's nothing great about it. This is another IL-2 that's really good. This is the Avenger. It's same as the... I think it's the 2M. It's the same thing as the Avenger. Yeah, 2M. Same exact loadout, everything, just premium. I just thought it was cool. This was the second premium I ever got for Russia. I don't think it's for sale anymore. It's not good, but you could actually load it up with rockets back in the day. It was these right here, and you'd set them to explode at 500, and you'd fly up and shoot bombers with them. I mean, that was it. Now, what can we take out? This is actually known as the best dogfighter. You need to put manual controls for the engine oil cooling, which I got very efficient with there for a while. It could outrun most things with a bunch of new stuff added. It's not there anymore. It's been power crept. So, I really don't know if I have anything else unique to show you guys. Nothing really. This is the old school P-47. You've got the new school now. They called this one the Badman Teardrop because it's the teardrop shaped canopy versus the square one. Let's see here. That's really about it. I mean, I don't have much more to show you guys. Let's take out one of my old 109s. I spent a long time in this, like way too much. What about my K4? We'll wrap the video with the K4. It is not a good plane anymore. Way too power crept. Can't turn. Made for booming and zooming at 5.7 that often sees 6.0. You know what? That's just too tasty not to put on there. Like, they added ground stuff to it, and I just never unlocked it because I put this thing down a long time ago. Chewing on some ice. We'll make this our last game. And now I've got to go burn some of these boosters and die trying to get them put out. So die trying to grind, which is always the case, isn't it? I mean, legit always the case. Anytime you're actually trying to actively grind, Gaijin's like, you know what? We think you deserve full up tiers. Yep, because I haven't unlocked those. I didn't think I unlocked that. God, it's been a while. I don't remember the last time I took this thing out, to be honest with you. Default ammo works. I got 20 mil cannons. It sits at 5.7. So these right there, you see those Spitfires? The bane of 5.7 is existence. LE7s are really good aircraft. And that one specifically used to be in a video, cinematic, from Gaijin. It was one of the earlier ones, so this guy's chasing a Spitfire up, and he's an LA7, and they both end up stalling out, and then he goes nose down and kills them. If I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, Russian aircraft were very broken back in the day. I think it's the L5N or LA7N, one of the two of them. That's comes around once a year. It's a named vehicle, the pilot's name on it. I'm gonna go ahead and climb. I think this has one of the best 109 skins straight out the box. The yellow on the nose kind of throws it off, so if there's a way to change that and just make it more of that camo brown, I think that'd be pretty cool. Sounds like he's about to it sounds like he's about to stall. You can hear his motor. Yak 3P. It sounds like I'm about to stall. Look at that. Engine's overheating. I know the G4. I like the G4. It goes a little bit slower due to the extra air intake, but at higher altitudes it does a lot better. So, one thing about prop games is they are long, and they take a good while. I mean, it's like 3 minutes to even get before you can engage, roughly. So, yeah. Good old times. I spent way too long in props. But like I said, back in the day, I never ran premium at all, other than premium planes, because I just enjoyed the tiers I was at. And then for a while there, I got like, oh, I've got to get top tier. I want to get into jets. And then you find out jets are really not that fun. Ground, much more so. That's why I stick around 4.3. Oh, yeah, I was talking about that loadout. So after this game ends, I'll go show you the premium German loadout. That's my ground relaxing loadout for kicks and giggles. The Yak 3P is actually really good, just the very limited ammo. See all the energy? He was above me, he can swoop down, gain a ton, and go forward. I think he tops out around 600 something. This is basically boom and zoom. Like, you want to get on something, get behind its tail, shoot it, and leave. That F4U would be a great target. That AM1... why is that AM1 so low? It's Japanese, if I remember correctly. That Yak 3 is going to go down there and just nuke him. Oh, there's a Bearcat. LME-264, that's a bomber. I'm thinking why is a P-51 that low? That makes me physically angry. No, it doesn't, but it's probably a new player who's managed to get kills, and he's a console player by going low. So, who's going to get who here? And the P-51, they got each other. P-51s are notorious for putting out fires. Yaks, not so much. Like I said, notorious for putting out fires. So, P-47s, oh no, didn't put out the fire. He's going to come secure that kill from that guy. You know, he got enough critical hits. Why give him the kill? Okay, we're in a good position here. So old school, we come up behind somebody like this, we will basically strafe them and then pull back up. We're going to get below, yeah. That's a biplane, really. I'm just going to leave. You can try to nose up, shoot at me, yada yada yada. I was wondering what that designation was. I was like, what is that? Still got some hits on him, so. A hit. But you can see our injury retention pulled us back up. Yeah, low tier games can be kind of wonky. I'm not falling forward. I'm not going down there. I need to climb. Basically, you'd stay within 2 to 3,000 meters. Try to pull people down into a spiral fight. Not spiral, but a downward spiral. So you'd gain energy. You'd get the lead. You could slow down, pull out, whatever you needed to do. And if people were below you, you just take them for a ride. You'd strafe them, then you'd leave. Strafe and leave. Corsairs will outturn us. Won't outrun us, though. Yeah, go ahead, dive at for you. They do have some nasty cannons on them, so I'd like to not get into that. And that is a 5.00, and I know it well. Well, let's see how much longer you can keep up. Let's see. I'm probably gonna die here. This would be a very anticlimactic. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He burns energy. Huh. Oh, that's the 1C. Okay. Might be in trouble here. Yep, we're in trouble. Yeah, like I said, this thing's time to retire it. Can't even run away from a Corsair. Thought he'd bleed more energy than that, and I'd have more retained, but he's what it is. But I hope you guys have a happy new year. This is me just rambling along and getting killed in games. So, yeah. Before I go, I will show you the lineup. So, this is what I enjoy for ground. This is when I've had a horrible time doing anything else. Come down here. Most of these are not German tanks. It's not German. It's not German. Not German. I think I had some more I was playing with, but oh, I was memeing people with the cannons. Yeah. So yeah, Broombar and the KW2, just hilarious to get people with those big HE shells. The T-34 is probably one of the best low tier premiums. It's just insanely good. It's a T-34, but did they ever get? No, it's only got 6mm. Churchill, it's not as fun as it used to be. Everything can pin it now. People used to not know how to kill it, and it was to shoot the tracks and then these face plates in here to kill the crew. This is a very old school premium right here, and even older than that, which they actually brought back, I think. Where is it at? It was the Command Panzer. There we are. This was the first tank premium they ever had. And yeah, it had the slowest traverse you could ever think of. Like right now, it's down to 7 seconds. I think it was like 15 to 18 seconds to turn it. Yeah, it was horrible. The only thing it had, even back in the day, is it had the artillery. And back then we had screwed up damage models, so anywhere you shot it would just go straight through it. It's still not good today, but hey, at least the turret turns and doesn't take, 30 seconds to point at your target. But alright, I'll quit dragging on. You guys have a great day. Happy holiday. Be safe, don't drink and drive, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.